Today's lecture is on managing medical records. Filing equipment for paper records. It's called a records management system. You have filing shelves, filing cabinets. In the cabinets, you can have either vertical or lateral files, and they can be both, as you can see from this picture. You can have compactable files, rotary circular files, and labeling filing equipment. Security and safety measures. Medical record security. The HIPAA privacy and security regulations require a reasonable safeguard to protect information. So the files need to be locked at the end of each day. They need to be stored in a private area, a separate room with authorized personnel only, signage that can be locked every day. So not only do the files need to be locked every day, but the room needs to be locked every day as well. Security drill to raise awareness. Filing supplies include file folders, manila folders with tabs and labels, hanging file folders, binders, file guides, out guides, file sorters, accordion-shaped temporary holders. You can see from the picture. Filing systems. We can do sequential order. We can use the alphabetic filing system and use the indexing rules. Each part of the name is a unit. So if the last name is Ford, F is a unit, O is a unit, R is a unit, D is a unit. We can use chronological filing or reverse chronological order. And we can use a numeric filing system, indirect, terminal digit, or middle digit. Color coding, using classifications. And your instructor will show you the different tabs, just like the ones in the picture here, the alphabet, they're all different colored letters. Using color in an alphabetic filing system and using color in a numeric filing system. Those tabs are both numeric and alphabetic. And supplemental files. What are supplemental files? There may be a second file with a great deal of imaging in it. Tickler files, about what's being done today. Now, the steps, the filing process goes something like this. You inspect and release the information. So you find your file and you take it out. This is conditioning. Indexing is cross-referencing. Can we look in more than one place for this file? So we look at coding, sorting, and storage. How is the system set up? You actually have to work with a system to understand these. And what are the guidelines? Check file each time it is pulled and return it neatly. Don't force or crowd documents in folders. File cross-reference on a daily basis. Don't store files or equipment on the same shelf. And train staff and evaluate filing systems. Show people how to do this. How do we locate misplaced files? Because we can look a little bit before or after the person. We can ask the last person who had it. Limiting medical record access. Only those people that work with the files should have access to the files. Active, inactive, and closed files. Active versus inactive file. So what's an active file? It's a file that's used frequently. The patient comes in every year, every 6 months. Inactive files are used infrequently. This person may only show up once every 2 or 3 years. Now, closed files are no longer used, and they're usually on their own shelves in their own system. And after 3 years, if a patient hasn't come in to be seen, we call this a closed file, and the patient is no longer part of the practice. And that file is moved to storage. Records retention. What is the schedule for keeping records? And I'd like you all to take time to look up the state requirements for keeping patient medical records in your state. All right, it's called a retention schedule. Basic storage options. We have a shelf, we put the medical records in the file cabinet, close it, lock and lock the door. Storage facilities, on-site and off-site. Why do we have off-site facilities? Because if something happens on-site, if there's a flood or a fire, then we have a copy, usually on microfilm, of that medical record in a safe off-place site. Storage safety. Again, how do we safely store these files so that they're always where they need to be when we need them? And that ends today's lecture on managing medical records.